Today, we're going to listen to a question by Megan F., who submitted about navigating postpartum. And really, to all of you women out there who are struggling with postpartum, feeling lost and wondering, where do I turn? Why do I feel like this? So here's Megan's message.
I am 43. I guess my question would be, I'm not sure where to go or where to turn to for care and more thorough and in-depth look into my health history, health future, and just presently how I'm feeling pretty bad. I have not felt well since giving birth to my now 16-month-old son, Jameson. I did have him just shy of my 42nd birthday, but since then I have had incredible weight gain. I'm carrying like fat in areas that I never have really carried excessive weight before. I'm incredibly moody. My hypothyroidism is all over the place. So yeah, excessive weight gain. I'm very achy. I get shooting pains in my legs and my feet. Sometimes I feel like I can't even walk. Just crazy brain fog. My eyesight is horrible. I feel nauseous almost daily. I've done a lot of different things and I don't know. My doctors have not steered me in the right direction. I'm not sure where to go and what to do.
So first off, Megan, I want to say you're seen, you're heard, and you're definitely not alone. So thank you for being vulnerable and your courage with sharing your story, because there's a lot of women that are going through this and you'll help them with this. So gaining weight in unfamiliar places, feeling moody, having brain fog, achiness, shooting pains, hypothyroid swings, these aren't obviously just in your head. They're real symptoms, and they often are tied to postpartum hormonal shifts, nutrient depletion, thyroid dysregulation, and inflammation. So you're not failing. Your body's waving a flag saying, please help. Why is this happening? And it's not your fault. After pregnancy, your body goes through major changes. Hormones, metabolically, emotionally, your thyroid function can crash postpartum. Estrogen and progesterone shift dramatically because they just got done giving birth and they're on that hormonal roller coaster. And nutrient stores like your iron, B vitamins, selenium, zinc, they can all be depleted from pregnancy and breastfeeding. When your thyroid's off, it can trigger weight gain, depression, hair loss, cold sensitivity, aches and pains, and brain fog, all of the things you're describing. And to me, that physical and emotional demand and then caring for a baby, it just means that you're feeling overwhelmed. No wonder, right? And then when you're going to your doctors and they're just kind of pushing it off, it's frustrating. So what I want to tell you, if I was working with you, Megan, what I would start with is a full comprehensive list of labs. So at least doing a hormone panel, looking at your thyroid panel, not just your TSH, but your free T3, your free T4, reverse T3, and then your thyroid globulin and autoantibodies. Your cortisol levels before 10 a.m., where are your adrenals at? Adrenals handle the stress of our body. So when we're going through these huge hormonal shifts, we're not sleeping, there's extra stress because there's a baby in our lives, our adrenals take the brunt of that. So looking at cortisol levels, I would guess 90-something% of my women have some sort of adrenal fatigue. So I'm sure you're in that boat. Looking at an iron panel, not just iron, not just hemoglobin, but also looking at ferritin, which is your body's iron storage, to see what that's at, making sure that you're not depleted, because again, after having a baby, losing blood, you can just stay generally low, and having more iron in your body could help depending on what your levels are. I always test, I don't guess. Vitamin D and inflammation markers are always really important as well, because vitamin D can help with immune regulation, and inflammation in general makes you have these joint pains, aches, all of that. I'd also love to see a full sex panel, hormonal evaluation of your estrogen, progesterone, DHEA, and testosterone balance, because obviously your body's going through these changes. You're 16 months out, so it's at a good place to be tested and optimize. I also like to work on your gut health and nutrient repletion, because the gut drives inflammation and mood. Over 80% of your neurotransmitters are made in your gut. So if you have any leaky gut and inflammation, that's totally correlating with neurotransmitters that are affecting your mood and your brain function, including brain fog. So from there, when we look at the gut, we look at your hormones, we look at your inflammation, Then we look at gentle nutrition, removing inflammatory foods from the diet. I typically have all of my patients do a paleo diet, gluten-free, dairy-free, for at least 6 weeks. You're really wanting to clean out your body, resetting your immune system, and seeing how you feel. Your body usually gets so used to that inflammation that it just feels bad all the time, and it doesn't know why. So when we remove those highly inflammatory foods, it becomes a canary in the coal mine again. So when you add on a gluten toast or something like that, and your body doesn't like it, it will alert you. But before that, it's just as confused and it's chronically inflamed, so it's hard to tell. So you really have to clean out your body. People say, well, can I just do gluten and then do dairy, or like not both? No. Paleo diet, 6 weeks minimum. You really have to clean both out because they both contribute to Hashimoto's and they both contribute to inflammation. And then targeting supplements that restore your deficiencies depending on what your labs are showing. Gentle movement, walking, stretching when you're able, because I know when you're fatigued, overworked, overwhelmed, achy, you don't want to work out. So doing the little things that you can when you are feeling good, maybe just taking some 8-pound dumbbells and then doing a couple bicep curls. Building strength will always save your life, will always build your immune system, will always help your glucose support. So I always tell my women to really try to build muscle. And then just a little message for you, Megan, and all of the other women that can relate. Just know that there is a path forward and there are answers to your questions. You are not broken. You don't have to figure this out alone. If your Western medicine docs are kind of just brushing you off, I encourage you to find an integrative or functional medicine provider who will listen and who will look at your root causes, not just the symptoms. If you're watching this and you resonate with Megan's story, please do not give up. You deserve to feel good in your body, and I know that you can do it. Keep looking. If you're close to the health spa in Iowa, consider registering for my Harmony Within program. We run it every quarter, but you'll get your labs and personalized protocol right when you sign up, so you don't have to wait for the actual program to start. Go to thehealthypractitioner.com to look at the details. If you're from a long distance, you can go to selectbalance.com and purchase a woman's hormone panel, and that will give you a requisition form to take to the nearest LabCorp, and then you'll get a full comprehensive protocol from me. Next, we have someone asking about periods lasting long, so let's listen to that.
Hi, I'm Ashley from Iowa. Question on why your period would linger well past a week. I'm not heavy, but just a slow drip, we'll call it.
Okay, so thanks, Ashley from Iowa. Thanks for sending this in because I know there's a lot of women out there wondering the same thing. So let's break this down. What's normal? What's not? First, a typical period lasts between 4 to 7 days. Anything beyond 7 days, even if it's just light spotting, we consider prolonged bleeding. Doesn't always mean it's dangerous, but it's your body's signal saying, hey, there's something wrong, I need attention. So common causes of long or light periods, there are a few reasons why this can happen. Hormonal imbalances. Low progesterone is a common culprit. Progesterone helps close the gates of the uterine lining. Without enough, your body struggles to stop the slow drip. Perimenopause or puberty shifts on both ends of the cycle. Hormones can fluctuate and then cycles can become irregular or prolonged. So it's very common in these two groups. And then if you have any uterine issues, polyps or fibroids, especially small ones, can cause light lingering bleeding. Medications or birth control, some IUDs or hormonal methods can lead to prolonged light bleeding. And then lastly, thyroid dysfunction. Hypothyroidism can disrupt menstrual cycles and cause prolonged spotting. So what can you do right now? Well, this is what I suggest. First, if you're not tracking your cycle, please do that. Write down start date, end date, flow, and symptoms. I like using, it's called My Calendar. It's an app, free app that you can get on your phone. I just put in the start date, end date, anything else that I want to remember, but it at least will help start tracking. And then check in on your stress and lifestyle. If you have high stress, poor sleep, or you undereat, it can throw off hormones. I see a lot of active women that are athletes that have really irregular cycles because they're not getting enough protein. So just always look at stress, food intake, exercise, and then supporting your hormones naturally. Think balanced blood sugar, gentle exercise, and maybe adding some support like magnesium and B6. Bioidentical progesterone cream. At Select Balance, we have a progesterone cream that's based out of wild yam and other really great nutrients that you just rub on your skin. And I typically have my women that I work with do one pump, so one dose between days 1 to 13 of their cycle. And then on days 14 to 28, they do 2 pumps. And this helps kind of mimic the normal progesterone, heightened progesterone needs in the luteal phase, second half. And so then when you start bleeding, you stop it and you start over at day 1. But that can get you back into a rhythm as well. And then if this persists, if it's more than 1 to 3 months of just having random long spotting, check your labs. You want to look for a thyroid panel, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, DHEA, and possibly an ultrasound if it keeps happening. I'd reach out to a provider if your bleeding's lasting more than 10 days consistently, if you're soaking through your pads and tampons frequently, like multiple times in every couple hours, or if you have severe cramping, clots, or other new symptoms, because you want to rule out polyps, fibroids, or clotting disorders. Typically, if you have any of that, they'll want to order a transvaginal ultrasound and check from the inside and see if there are any of those different issues. As I mentioned above, if you're local, you can work with me through my Harmony Within program, or you can see Maggie, our in-house nurse practitioner. Otherwise, if you're at a distance, go to selectbalance.com and order the woman's hormone test, and it will give you not only the labs, but a full comprehensive plan of care from me, so you get your hormones back on track. If you have any questions for me, please go to thehealthypractitioner.com. There's a little button on the side that says Ask Me a Question. State your first name, where you're from, and then your question. You're not alone, and your question will really help others. Thank you, and see you again soon.